They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF. My apologies. You guys hear me better? We just got to pop up right on the live stream. Salute, fam. How y'all doing? The day after, it is the day after. What a phenomenal night. I'm sure you guys all had it. Very excited for tonight. After last night, man, I know everybody slept really, really good, man. Salute. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. All right. Hey, we gotta listen. Do I really? Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. All right. Like I said, got a good one for you guys. Got some updates, got some news, some rumors. We got a shocking revelation. Well, not really a shocking revelation, but I'll say Shams Charania giving us some clarity on what we are looking for and as far as trades go. So very excited to share that with you guys, as well as if we hit that goal, I might actually fire up the trade machine, even though it's not a trade machine video. But first, let's go ahead and give you guys the updates, man. Again, I know everybody is excited, especially after last night. Before I even hop into that, let's go ahead and see the highlights one more time, man, because Sawston brought us home with his 26 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. I mean, can we ask for anything more, chat? I don't think we can. The triple-double, and none was clutcher than the final bucket. I mean, it was a great game. It was an instant classic. I definitely rewatched the highlights last night after I got off the stream. And, we did a lot of things right that got us to thinking, like, look, this team can definitely afford a trade. We definitely have some affordable moving parts and pieces here that we can afford to spare. And we also, I think it's very visible to see what pieces we need to hold on to. And that is Austin, LeBron, AD. I think Max Christie has become a huge part of this team. And I think it'll be a disservice to trade him now. So if we do fire up the trade machine, I will not include him in any of the packages for said reason. But again, it was beautiful ball movement. The playmaking was elite. And I'm glad we can shut down all the trade Austin Reaves rumors after this one, right? We can shut that down. The only way, again, I said I'll do it, is for a specific somebody that really moves that needle for us. And I think we all know who those somebodies are. But all right, after watching that little feel-good highlight right there, we got to hop into it because we got the report today by Shams Charania that the Lakers are open to moving draft picks in exchange for immediate help. Now, sources in the Lakers front office are telling Shams that they're open to moving up to 3 first-round picks, which, by the way, I didn't even know that we can move 3 first-round picks in the trade. But they want a player or players that can feel that they feel they can get into the iteration of this team right now. And also, and here's the key right here, they want pieces that are going to potentially fit with this team moving forward for years to come. So that tells you everything you got to know right there. For years to come, and anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So that eliminates a bunch of players right there. And I would definitely want to have that conversation with you guys because it's got to be players under 30, right? Like, so obviously players over 30 are Jonas Valanciunas, Vucevic, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Grant, right? Jeremy Grant. But then there's a huge list of players under 30 that starts with Ingram, who's been rumored to be dealt. Apparently, the Lakers are canvassing the trade market to see who are the sellers. And Shams also went on to mention teams like the Blazers, the Pelicans, the Toronto Raptors, right? The Wizards. So again, Ingram could be an interesting piece that could fit for the now and for the future. I'm not sure how well the fit is, but that's just a name. You got Lonzo, even though he's always hurt. You got Kuz, who's under 30. You got Walker Kessler. You got Cam Johnson. You got Zach LaVine, to name a few. And we'll keep mentioning some more. Who do you guys think fits that description moving forward? And like, Who do you guys think? Like, there's some names that we put together for sure. My guy said 18 for 18 from the free throw line, yo. Hey, KJ with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. He said free throws 18 for 18. Let's go. That was key. And we always talk about the fundamentals and how this team has to execute moving forward. But 18 for 18 last night was huge. Was absolutely huge. But I do want to talk about who the Lakers could be targeting. They're willing to move 3 first-round picks. You have to think that's a star player. The name that comes to my mind heavily is De'Aaron Fox. It's the name that comes to my mind heavily. Also, Zach LaVine. Apparently, the Lakers have been in discussions for a potential Zach LaVine package. The problem is that Zach LaVine is making over $40 million a year. Okay, so in order to get a player like that, you're going to have to give up pieces. Do we have the pieces? Sure. Do we want to give those pieces up? That's the question, right? But again, based on this report, you have to know that, to me, this is a big revelation because it tells you Lakers are not going for older players right now. They're going for younger players right now. They're going for players that they feel JJ Redick can coach moving forward. This is why I don't believe the Lakers will move off with the Austin Reaves contract. They will not move off of the Austin Reaves contract no matter what, because that's a great contract. We've heard the commentators last night on Christmas Day talk about how much bang for the buck we're getting from Austin. I think we got to start talking about that. 17 points, 5 assists. You can't find that in 50 million 3-year deal, right? Usually guys that are giving you that type of production are making over 20 mil a year. So I'll tell you what, matter of fact, look no further than the DeMar DeRozan contract. Compare the Austin Reaves contract to the DeMar DeRozan contract. You can see how we made out like bandits with that extension, right? Well, who do you guys think the Lakers are targeting? I would definitely love to read some comments right now. Let's see. Brian Ahmad says, BI with LeBron, no thanks. Yeah, I don't see the fit. Although whenever LeBron does rest, I think that would be an amazing fit. Just like last night, we saw some of the guys that usually don't shine more when AD was out. And that's what you want to see from your depth. You want to see guys like Rui, Austin, Max Christie. We haven't talked enough about Max. Max has been huge during the last 5 games or so, 6 games that he started. So yeah, been huge. What's up, KD? Good to see you, bro. I know everybody was sleeping good last night after that phenomenal victory. Let's see. Reese says, as long as D-Lo get the hell out of here, I'm good, bro. I agree. Did anybody? Let me ask you guys this. I know some of you guys love D-Lo. Some of us are impartial to him. We're like, you know what? If he goes, he goes. But I want to ask you guys this. Did anybody even realize that D-Lo wasn't on the court? Because I didn't. And that's a problem because we didn't really miss his presence like that. There was nothing he could have brought to last night's game to help us. Matter of fact, I think if he was out there on the court, we would have had other young guards that come off the bench for Golden State cook us because of his lack of defense. So I think, again, this upholds my statement that I've been having since the offseason that we should have been traded him. A lot of people hadn't seen that till now. They're starting to see how much of a nuisance he could be on the defensive end and not enough production on the offensive end consistently to offset that. Austin sometimes can be horrible on defense, I will admit that. But you see what he does on offense and how clutch he can be, which offsets a lot of his defensive deficiencies, right? On top of that, you plug in Max Christie next to him, and everything that I had wished for since last year, I said, start Austin at the point, Max Christie next to him. That'll be perfect backcourt because you got defense and you got offense. Now you're starting to see how that's starting to impact our winning. Our defense is starting to spike up. Can you guys imagine if Vando comes back at any point? Just how phenomenal. We might be the best defensive team in the league if Vando came back healthy. Also, if we can acquire a secondary big man. Like, that would be great, right? That would be amazing. But again, that's neither here or there because right now I don't hear any updates on Vando coming back anytime soon. BJ said, Dan, will Sacramento really trade Fox to us? I don't think so. Well, keep hitting the like, man, and let's see if we can hit that goal. I will fire up the trade machine and see if there's any possible way to do it. If we do hit that goal. But let me tell y'all something about trades. Sometimes it's not about what you want to do, but it's about what you have to do. If De'Aaron Fox is disgruntled and wants out of Sacramento and he's on an expiring contract, guess what Sacramento has to do? They have to oblige. And if no other team offers anything better than whatever the Lakers have to offer, then all of a sudden it starts looking more realistic. But as of right now, I'm sure Sacramento wants to trade him to the East Coast or somewhere where they don't have to look at him. It has failed. That front office has failed from the beginning. They've drafted well, and they have lost all their talent historically for minimal return. Let's go all the way back to the DeMarcus Cousins days, right? And then Tyrese Halliburton recently, the most recent piece that they acquired that was a star in the making, and they basically gave him up for what they thought was a contending team, which wasn't. I knew it wouldn't be. But I would have not, personally, me, and I love Fox, but obviously I'm going with the younger guard that has tons of potential. But I love Fox. Don't get me wrong. Fox is an NBA-ready guard to try to compete for a title. Now, problem is Golden State doesn't Sacramento doesn't really have what it takes to compete. So now they're in limbo, and Fox is disgruntled. Now the trade looks really bad for Tyrese Halliburton because a boner couldn't get you over the hump. No, did he? But you know what I mean? Like it's all bad right now for Sacramento. But we're not here to talk Sacramento. We're here to talk Lakers. And again, for those of you just tuning in, it is being reported by Shams, the only source that I can trust right now, even though he's been wrong sometimes, that is saying that the Lakers front office is telling him that they're open to moving 3 first-round picks, which means I like the sound of it. They don't just want to make a trade to make a trade. They want to make a trade to move forward and to move up. You know, that's what they're trying to do. And I like that. I can get with the program when it comes to that. So, yeah, Fox comes to mind. Trae Young comes to mind. Even Zach LaVine comes to mind if the package is proper. Right now, if the package isn't proper, now, you know, I'm saying I have no interest in Zach LaVine. If we have to give up Vando and Rui just to get a Zach LaVine Vucevic package in the mix, because remember, the contracts have to match, then I'm definitely not interested in any of that, if that's the case, right? I only take on Zach if the trade is right. Right. And like I said, I'm willing to fire up the trade machine to make that happen. Would I go after Ayton? Depends what the asking price is. It's always what I have to give out, not what I have to give up. You know what I mean? And again, players that the Lakers should target have to be under 30, right? According to the reports, they want somebody that's not just going to fit now, but it's going to be coachable for the next 3 to 5 years, which means younger than 30. It doesn't make sense to get an older player here if they want to move past the LeBron timeline, which most likely only has 1 or 2 more years. So if they want somebody to move past that deadline, then these are the names that come to mind, right? Colin Sexton, Day'Ron Sharpe, Nick Richards, right? Robert Williams, Bruce Brown, Jacob Poeltl, Zach LaVine, Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, De'Aaron Fox, Trae Young. Those are all names that fit the report that is coming out from Shams Charania, right? But let me ask this, because I got a lot of people saying, oh, Dan, my apologies. I'm now getting off of the trading Austin Reaves train. This is why I tell you guys, he's very, very clutch. I'm glad some of you guys have opened your eyes, but the truth of the matter is some people still want to trade him for a bag of Skittles. I still have heard people say they will still trade Austin for DeJounte. No, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to DeJounte Murray. Since he's come back, he hasn't really impacted the Pelicans winning. Nor should he, because that team is hurt. But Austin Reaves thrives in all the areas that DeJounte doesn't, and vice versa. So it's a lateral move. We don't want lateral moves. If that's the case, I'd rather hold on to the player that already has chemistry and knows how to win with our current roster, which is Austin Reaves. Which is why I have said there's absolutely no way in hell I'm trading him for a lateral move, right? What's up? Hey, how you doing, CJ? Good to see you, bro. Lake Show Girl says, no Zach, please, injury prone. Well, yeah, I'm a little cautious about him, as well as the fact that he's making 40 mil, so the trade would have to be something completely different there. But again, who intrigues you guys, that moves the needle for you guys from this list that I mentioned? Because remember, there's already a couple players that intrigue me, but they're in their 30s. Jeremy Grant, Jonas Valanciunas, Vucevic, Brogdon, Dorian Finney-Smith. All those guys are in their 30s. So again, we have to be very smart about the way we proceed moving forward, right? Let's see. No way we don't take Zach. Y'all tripping? There is a way we don't take Zach. That money right there, depending on the asking price. From what I've heard, the Bulls are only interested in trading Zach for Austin in the package. If I'm the Lakers, I'm definitely not doing that. Why in the hell would I do? What's my incentive? Unless you giving me Kobe White along with that, there's no way. I don't improve in that way because Zach LaVine can get buckets, but outside of getting buckets, he's not the playmaker that Austin Reaves is. He's not the clutch player that Austin Reaves is. He doesn't have the chemistry with LeBron and AD. Maybe he can build that Austin Reaves is. And most importantly, he doesn't have the health that Austin Reaves has displayed throughout his career early on. Hopefully that doesn't change, but Austin has been extremely healthy, knock on wood. He's been extremely healthy throughout his career, and I think that's a major plus right there. He said, hell no Ayton. That dude isn't about winning. I definitely don't like his attitude either. But who knows if playing alongside AD can reinvigorate him for LA. It's either going to do that or he's just going to continue to be who he is, right? Jonas Valanciunas is not a one-year contract. I believe he's got a 2-year deal with a third-year player option or team option, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he's got a couple years under him. But at $10 million a year, it is definitely a bargain, right? I'm still doing that. Let's see. Lake Show Girl says Kessler and Sexton for me. Dan, you know what? That has always been my ideal trade this offseason. And it sounds like some of the color commentators have started warming up to it. I heard recently Kendrick Perkins, when we played the Jazz, he said that's exactly who we needed. So, yeah, that would be great. But I did fire up the trade machine, man. And we can just burn up the chat for me real quick. I will listen, forget about the goal. I will fire up the trade machine right now and show you guys something that I've concocted that I wish. Now, this isn't something I think will happen, but these are trades that I wish the Lakers would pursue. And then maybe if we can't reach a sort of agreement, we can somehow meet in the middle and go back down to what they want. So just drop some heat for me. Hit the like button. And let's see where we at right now. Can we go in the likes? Let's get 50 more of those and we fire up the trade machine wherever we're at. Let me know when we get it. My guy said, do it. Yes, sir. Let's see. Marco says, Dan, it just shows why you always keep saying free throws are critical. Based if the Lakers missed 4 to 6 free throws, the Warriors would have won. They're very critical. And you know what? The fundamentals of the game, boxing out, rebounding, crashing the glass as a unit, not turning the ball over, hitting your free throws, all of it is crucial. But yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. And this is why we harp on it every pregame. We have to, we have to stay intact here. We have to make sure we do the right thing. All right, let's see. 61 likes as of now. All right, let's get to 81 for Kobe. That's all I ask. 20 more likes, and we fire it up. Thank you, Kimiko. Let me know when we got those because I really want to fire up the trade machine and give you guys some of my thoughts on what I concocted before we went live. Really quick update. Austin. This is what JJ had to say on Austin Reaves after the game. And again, something I've been seeing for years since we drafted him as a rookie. And I quote, he says, Austin Reaves, fearless competitor, not afraid of the big moments or big games. Listen, and that's another aspect right there. End quote. That's another aspect of why I love Austin Reaves and why I think we should keep him. How many players, come to Los Angeles and are born for this moment? Just how many? How many players are not afraid of the big stage? By the way, mind you, he's playing alongside AD and LeBron and putting up 17 and 5. Could you guys imagine what type of numbers he'd be putting up if LeBron and AD weren't here? Let's just say it was his team. We're in a rebuild and we're playing through Austin Reaves. How many points and assists do you guys think he's averaging? Realistically, I'd love to know, chat. Realistically, I'd say he's averaging. Me personally, I say he's averaging at least 5 more points per game, at least, because he's going to get up 10 more shots, right? I say he's averaging at least 7 assists. So now we're looking at 23 and 7. Is that an all-star? Is that an all-star, ladies and gentlemen? 23 and 7, I think that's an all-star. So I know a lot of people say we need a third star, but I've been harping on the fact that we already have him. He's here. He just sacrifices for the team. Oh, we got 85 likes. Man, you guys are fast. I love it. Fine. You guys always get your way. Let's get it. We're going to fire up the trade machine. Let me go ahead and bring it up. I got 3 trades for you guys that I think the Lakers should pursue that I don't think will happen. Maybe we meet somewhere in the middle. But let's start off with the first trade. All right, we're going to go backwards. we're going to go backwards. All right. And this is the first trade that I feel the Lakers should pursue. And I want your guys' perspective on everything here. But let's start with the Portland Trailblazers. I think now I'm going to go from most realistic to most unrealistic. Okay. Anthony Simons and Robert Williams for D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt. All right. Now, I'm only trading one first-round pick. I don't care if it's in 2026 or 2029. I'm trading one first-round pick, and that first-round pick is split between the talents of Anthony Simons and Robert Williams. Now, I know what people are saying. They don't like Anthony Simons. Listen, Anthony Simons just hit a game winner the other night on the Denver Nuggets. All right, he's another fearless shot-creating point guard. I have to throw in Vando to make the contract work. But let's be honest, this team has shown potential without Vando. I love Vando, but you have to make the contracts work as well. I'll take Anthony Simons all day, man. You're talking about a young, feisty point guard that you could easily either bring off the bench as a designated six-man or start and bring Austin off the bench or start them both in the backcourt and move. I would move Max Christie to the 3 unless Rui's playing out of his mind. I mean, you would have options. This, to me, is the most realistic trade from the ones I concocted for multiple reasons. One, Portland has to bottom out. They're going nowhere fast, all right? They have no need for Robert Williams. They got plenty of bigs. Okay, Anthony Simons, they've been rumored to dangle. Now, what is the incentive? You get an expiring contract in D'Lo. They have a very affordable 2-year deal in Gabe, who's been playing better lately, by the way. I would prefer not to trade him, but for contract matching purposes, you have Jared Vanderbilt, who's on a 4-year, $10 million deal. Now, that contract might not look too appealing to people right now, but if he recovers fully, he will have one of the best contracts in the league because we know he's one of the best defensive wings out there. Matter of fact, had we had him last night for the Golden State Warrior game, that game's not as close. So I do give up one first-round pick just because of the talents of Anthony Simons and Robert Williams, but 2 second-round picks on top of that. That is probably my least favorite trade from the package, but also the most realistic trade. And mind you, both of these players are under 30, so they fit the timeline of players who can grow alongside JJ Redick as a head coach. All right. So what do you guys think of this trade? Do you guys love it, hate it? Let me see some fire if you guys love it, man. Let me see some thumbs down if you guys don't want it. This is the first trade I have. Like I said, I have 3 that I cooked up for you guys. Let's see. Brian says no to this trade. Why not, Brian? I'd love to know why. Simons plays no defense. So does 90% of the league, and they're still impactful. Simons is a shot creator and a playmaker. And again, you could always bring him off the bench. He's on a 2-year deal, which means that if it does not work out, you could let him walk after next year. Or you could flip him to another place. Bottom line is we do need something off the bench. We do need it. Let's see. Thank God Gabe has been doing something for us lately. This is what we all, you know what, Sam? I'm not surprised. This is what we all expected from Gabe Vincent. We expected Gabe Vincent to be a very solid role player. I was actually more shocked that when the season started, he was shooting such a low percentage and his confidence wasn't there. But it could have been because he was just coming off of a major injury. Now, can he continue to do it consistently for us? Because if he does, it changes everything for this team. Also, Max Christie, biggest revelation we've had this season as a young player. He'll continue to get better. He had 16 points again on the road last night. Huge. We do not win without his 16-point contribution. So he was huge. And I usually don't expect nothing from him offensively, but his shot is starting to fall. The form was always there. It seems like it was all about confidence. Let's see. KJ says, I do this fast. Me too. Listen, I would do it, but I think this is the least favorite of the ones I have up here on my trades. All right. So that's a good start. Gabe's still not that great, though. Let's be honest. I'll take him. I'll take his production right now. We need it, especially with all the injuries. I think we rushed Gabe after the injury. Not fair at all. You think so? We gave him a whole year off. So I'm not sure if we rushed them back. It's just sometimes it takes players some time to get into the thick of things. So, again, this is just an idea. Throwing it out there as of right now. First trade package. Let's see. Victor says, I do it. Simon makes a lot of unexpected an extension. Yeah, again, Simons would be low risk, high reward. But we do need dynamic scorers off the bench. Therefore, I have other trades brewing as well. Let's see. Tasia says, I agree with Dan. I'm only doing the Chicago trade if you include White. You know what, Tasia? They will never include White, but I don't think it's fair that Chicago wants to salary dump Zach LaVine. They want to hit rock bottom, but at the same time, they want to get assets in return when he doesn't have a huge market because of his injury history and because of his contract and the length of his contract, which I think is a 3-year deal. So not a lot of people want that, right? So they're over here unrealistically, they want an all-star caliber player like Austin, who's playing really well for a Western Conference team, right? When I look at player stats, I always look at the stature of their team and how they're performing and is it contributing to winning. And this is what I said about Dennis. When the Lakers inquired about Dennis, they wanted a first-round pick or 2, which is ridiculous because I always said he's playing for the Nets. They're not winning shit. Even though they started a little hot, they're not winning anything. That's fool's gold. Of course, he has the ultimate green light. Now look at him in Golden State. Doesn't look that great, does he? Even though I still like his defense, we had Dennis twice, and we've seen that he is a part-timer, right? This is why I used to call him Call of Duty Dennis. His stats were phenomenal. He's having a career year. I would not have minded him off the bench for the Lakers, but strictly off the bench because we've already seen what he can do for a starting lineup on a contender. Not much. He can do a lot more on a pretender, but those numbers are fool's gold for a lot of. Same thing with Zach. We've never seen Zach put up big numbers on a contender, so we don't know what type of impact he truly has for a team. One thing we do know that his scoring can help lift the team and elevate if used properly within the flow of the offense. But again, even his scoring numbers, whatever they are now, they're going to take a hit. That's why I use the example of Austin Reaves and what he would be doing on a team like the Wizards if it was his team versus what he's doing now, which makes his numbers even that much more impressive. There's not a lot of players that I can go and grab right now that can play third fiddle and still put up 17 and 5 efficiently, right? And be clutch at the end of the game. So again, I think because I have never undervalued players like Kuz, Julius, and Austin Reaves. But a lot of fans, they undervalue him and think he's garbage because he doesn't play defense. He gives effort on the defensive end and he's consistent on the offensive end. So, all right, you guys ready for trade number 2? Now, this one's a lot more controversial. This is exactly the player we were talking about, but it is Zach LaVine. This is what a Zach LaVine trade would look like right as we speak. Okay, and again, look at this $43 million 3-year deal. Okay, you have to give up a lot. Luckily, they have the slots to absorb contracts and trades, and I think they did it. I think they did it purposefully like this so that they can absorb if they need to contracts like this. Now, let me ask you this: Zach LaVine trade value, what is it? Nobody knows, right? Why would they do it? Why would the Bulls make this trade? Well, for one, you have an expiring contract in D'Lo. You have a 2-year deal in Gabe Vincent, but $11 million is a lot better than 43 for an extra year and for 3 years. You have Vando, who's $10 million for 4 years, but again, this could end up looking very lucrative in the near future. Jalen Hood-Schifino expiring contract, so essentially they're only going to have $20 million. They're shedding $23 million in a trade like this, assuming they don't re-sign D'Lo, and I'll throw in 3 second-round picks just for the heck of it. Just for the heck of it. Now, why do I do it if I'm the Lakers? Well, you're not losing much. Yeah, Vando is the biggest X factor. If he comes back, I'd rather hold on to him, but we don't know if he's coming back. For 2, you clearing up roster slots. There's players out there that could be had that aren't dead weight. So this guy's been dead weight for 18 mil. This guy, you know what? He's playing better lately. It would hurt a little bit to lose him, but Jalen Hood-Schifino's dead weight. The main asset you're giving up is Vando and 3 second-round picks for Zach LaVine. So let me rephrase the question. If I was to say we can have Zach LaVine, a potential 20-point per game scorer, and 3 open roster slots for only Vando and 3 second-round picks, you would say no? Let me ask you this. Would you say no to that? That's how you have to look at it. The only asset we're really giving up in this package is Jared Vanderbilt, right? So I'd have to say I'd say yes. Reluctantly, because we've given up some. Vando's the biggest reluctant player, but we get 3 open roster slots, which means guys like Lonnie Walker can come back to LA. Guys, heck, if you want to give a flyer to Dwight Howard, go for it. If you want to bring back Stanley Johnson, I say hell yeah. You guys have to look at the biggest picture here, right? It's a 3-for-1 deal. 3-for-1 deal. And this way you're able to hold on to Austin Reaves. You're able to hold on to Dalton Connect, who I'm sure the Bulls will be pushing for either of those 2 players. And you have 3 roster slots. Buyout market is going to be active. There will be buyouts this season. Who knows? Maybe we can get like a Drummond type if his team continues to struggle. Maybe you can get somebody like that. But again, the only reason I do this is because you get a player who's a hit or miss, and you're taking on $43 million in his contract. The only thing I will say is, and what makes it really hard to make a trade like this, is that now all those other contracts you're signing in free agency are veterans minimums because you have to keep it under the second apron. You have to, otherwise you're going to suffer a penalty. So this is why this is a very risky trade, right? What do you guys think? Let me go ahead and read some comments here, man. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Next phase. Dan, why would the Lakers give up draft capital? If anything, we should get second or 2 from Chicago. We basically gave them $22 million off the books and $11 million trade chip and Gabe Vincent. That's a great question, next phase. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the Lakers tax. Chicago knows that Zach LaVine could be a major piece to help us move forward. But Chicago also knows we have other pieces we need. So they're trying to any team that makes a trade with us is going to try to handicap us as much as they can. So great question, but the reason is because that's the Laker tax. That is the Laker tax. Hey, how you doing, Strega? How you doing? There goes my MVP. Appreciate last night. I definitely appreciate it. Phenomenal night for all of us. But what a blessing it was pregame. Thank you, my friend. And we're doing good. Just talking potential trades that I'd like to see the Lakers maybe make. Rodell says, I hate obtaining Zach, but we getting rid of at least 3 bums. And that's the key. The biggest piece you're giving up here is Vando. So essentially, what I look at when you look at a trade like this is how do you incentivize a team to feel like they're ripping you off without them actually fully ripping you off? Well, those 3 second-round picks definitely will incentivize anybody. If you want to revise them and do 1 second-round pick or maybe 2, fine. But why do we need so many second-round picks? We got plenty of them. You can always buy more. It's not like you're really losing anything serious. On top of that, you get a player like Zach LaVine who you can start right away, which and then in turn, can definitely help with some of the scoring droughts we can sometimes go through. Although I don't feel like Zach is a necessity, but this is more like a luxury to get a player like this and somebody that you hope can help put you over the top from night to night. Let's see. Trade Bronny for Jokic. Crazy, man. Crazy. I hate, he said, how are dudes impressed with Zach's 20 points as a first option? It's not even that. It's just the fact that he can fill it up. Right? I don't look at Zach LaVine as a necessity at all. When I see Zach LaVine, I do not look at him as a necessity. I see him as a luxury, like somebody you can acquire, is obtainable realistically, but that's not what we need. We need a big and 3-and-D wings, right? So again, the only way I do this trade is if the Lakers have a backup plan. That's to go out into the buyout market and utilize those extra slots to get some real players, man. Maybe we can go out and get a Markelle Fultz as a backup guard. Maybe we can go out and, there's many things we can go out and try to do. Presumably we do a trade like that. Is D'Lo playing versus Sacramento? Have no updates on D'Angelo Russell. The only update we do have is the one on Anthony Davis, who mentioned he was going to play versus Sacramento after tweaking his ankle. So, we do have that. All right. Woo! All right, we got through 2 of them, and there wasn't a lot of pushback. I thought there would be a lot more pushback because we love some of the players that I had included in the package. But I think this is going to be the one. There's going to be plenty of pushback in, and a lot of why would they do it. And let's analyze the trade first, and then I'll tell you guys why I feel like both sides would do it. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? Let me know. Drop some heat for me. Let me know when you guys are ready, man. Take a deep breath. This is a trade I think that could put us over the top and set us up for the now, for the future, and open up roster slots as well. All right, so that's what I'm looking at right now. Now, all right. I know there's going to be some pushback. I know how Laker fans can be. I know how we can be, okay? We love our team, but check this out. Bam. There it is. Very controversial trade. Very controversial trade. Now, let me scroll. There's 3 first-round picks attached to this at the bottom, okay? The 3 first-round picks that Shams Charania is reporting. Now, let me tell you why both sides will do it. Now, first of all, the trade is De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk to the Lakers for D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Christian Wood. 3 first-round picks attached to that. Unprotected completely. There goes our future. There goes our future, but we're trading for the now. And let me tell you why the Lakers do it, okay? First and foremost, in order to complete this trade, it is successful. Let me tell you this. The numbers worked. The only way to get this trade done, because I thought De'Aaron Fox would help, but we need a backup guard as well off the bench to replace what we losing with D'Lo as far as scoring goes. Why would the Kings do it? There's only one reason the Kings would trade De'Aaron Fox, and that's for a full rebuild. Now, I don't know too many teams out there that are willing to give up more than 2 first-round picks for him right now. He's on an expiring contract, which means, or should I say, he has 2 years left on his deal. He will be on an expiring contract next year, which means that you risk him not re-signing if he's not happy being there. Therefore, the market is a lot more close for D Fox. Now, if you're trading De'Aaron Fox, you're going to want to get rid of his backcourt mate, Kentucky partner in Malik Monk, who, by the way, I feel like one of the main reasons he signed there was to play alongside that guard, right? And that's why he signed the extension. Now, you're getting rid of both of them. That means you're bottoming out, right? Right now, currently, they're the 12th seed in the West. You get D'Lo, not going to impact winning a lot. You get Rui, you could either flip him for another first-round pick at the deadline and maximize this trade even more, or you can hold on to him and then let him play out his contract. I don't know. Maybe he plays up his value a little bit. You get Gabe, who's on again, very affordable next year. $11 million is not a lot in the modern NBA. You get an expiring in Jalen Hood and Christian Wood. And you get 3 very valuable first-round draft picks by the Lakers, okay? I think both sides could come to an agreement only if De'Aaron Fox requests a trade strictly to the Lakers. Mind you, he's with Clutch. So that's the only reason I can see this even becoming a possibility. There could be different iterations of this trade, but every single iteration is going to include 2 to 3 first-round picks, most likely 3. Okay? Now, I know what people are saying. We got plenty of guards, whatever. Okay. What this also does is it opens up 3 roster slots. There's plenty of big men out there you can go out and get in the free agent market. There's going to be more after the buyout market. There is. Now, you're giving up D'Lo. We know that. But you're getting a starting caliber guard in De'Aaron Fox and a backup, an elite backup guard. Matter of fact, you could start both of them and bring Austin off the bench. Well, I think Austin is the type of player he adapts to anything. All right? And it would make us really, really good. Now, again, the buyout market is going to leave a lot of contracts out there that maybe we can go out and grab 1 or 2 for veterans minimum. But can you imagine De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Anthony Davis? You would still have Vando, assuming he comes back healthy. You have Austin Reaves. You have Dalton Connect and a bunch of open roster slots. Instead of having dead weight and guys like Jalen Hood-Schifino and Christian Wood, you now have the possibility to go out there and nab some contracts. Lonnie Walker's available. I already mentioned Stanley Johnson. I also like Markelle Fultz if we need more, but I doubt we'll need more guards out there trade like this. But just saying, there's going to be pieces out there. What are you guys' thoughts on a trade like this? I think when I hear Shams talk about 3 first-round picks, this is what I like right here. If we're going to swing for the fences, let's swing all the way. Don't give me 3 first-round picks for no Zach LaVine. That would be a huge disappointment. But for a player like this, or Trae Young with maybe like Clint Capella, maybe, something like that, or DeAndre Hunter, if they trade him, he's been having a great year. Guys like that would be phenomenal. All right, thoughts. I want to know. Possible he's Clutch client. It is possible. They're going to have to compare him. They're going to have to. I think LeBron will have to put in a call and try to convince him. Let him know there's a lot of money in LA. Let him know that there's a lot of things we can do over here. Yeah, I think if we swing for the fences, we got to try to bring in this backcourt mate. Now, there's different iterations of this trade that don't include Malik Monk. So there's a lot less contracts to be had. It would look something like D'Lo, Rui, and is it Jalen Hood-Schifino with 3 first-round picks? We can do it. Something like that will work too if you don't want Monk. But I really don't see why the Kings would start the rebuild. I think they have to start a rebuild in the West if they get rid of Fox. And that means I think Sabonis probably gets flipped elsewhere in the summer. I really believe it. But all in all, this is my favorite one right now, simply because, again, we get our guy, our legitimate 3rd star. Now we'd have 4 because I think Austin is a star in his own right. And now we have 3 open roster slots to play with and to go out and try to get a big man or a wing or something from the buyout market. There's got to be something out there. I haven't really scoured the market as of right now because I think more options will become available. I think this is a seller's league with the second apron of the CBA. There's going to be a lot of available free agents out there. Physical bigs is ideal. Yes, there's other trades that could be had as well. But I'm just telling you, I don't see too many pieces that the Lakers should try to acquire for those 3 first-round picks unless it's the real deal. I don't think Trae Young is worth 3 first-round picks. I think he's worth maybe 1, maybe 2, right, with some of these assets. But this is a way. I'm trying to think of ways that we can hold on to all of our pieces that are actually contributing. I'm talking Max Christie, Austin Reaves, guys like that. And in this package here, if you notice, I kept Vando, who can then be flipped for another big man in the trade market, maybe Valanciunas, or you can just play him if he's healthy. I mean, there's many different things we can do here, right? And again, with open roster slots. Also, I'll be honest with you guys. This trade, I made this trade in mind with we're eventually going to have to come to the crossroads of converting Koloko into a regular contract or not playing him. And I don't know about you guys, but the more minutes he gets, the more I start to love this kid. I think Koloko can be a serious piece for us moving forward. I really do. I like his energy. He's starting to block shots consistently. He did have 6 huge rebounds last night in limited minutes. That would be great, you know. And again, this opens up other possibilities. What's to say, you know, if we don't do that Fox one and we do a different trade, what are we going to do with the 2-way contracts? I like Armel Traore as well. Quincy Olivari has shown tremendous potential. What are we going to do with those contracts? So again, I think it's ideal that we whatever trade we do, we include multiple contracts that aren't usable. Guys like Jalen Hood-Schifino. I think Rob Pelinka was smart enough to decline the player option, or should I say the team option to his rookie contract, that now makes him more tradable. I'm talking about Jalen Hood's contract. Since he wasn't playable, he at least needs to be an expiring contract, which makes him tradable. Same thing for Christian Wood. He's on an expiring contract. It makes him tradable. If he's not going to come back healthy, we can't bank on that. Those are contracts you can flip to create roster slots to then go and convert 2-way contracts like Quincy and Koloko. Maybe they're, you know, that's who the Lakers have in mind. So again, I try to think of every little aspect with each trade that I presented to you guys on the trade machine, right? On how the Lakers could proceed moving forward, because we really don't have any wiggle room as long as roster slots are taken up. And again, how much dead weight do we have right now? How many unplayable contracts do we have on this team right now that I can see Rob Pelinka moving? Jalen Hood-Schifino, Maxwell Lewis, and I like his potential, but it hasn't played out, and we need ready now players. Who else? Christian Wood, potentially even Vandal. That's 4 players that may or may not impact the rest of the season. You know, it's just it's very like it's a lot of question marks around this team right now. KD said, I'm good given 2 if Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam, then maybe Jonas to round it out. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. I like Cam Johnson a lot. He hasn't contributed to winning, all right, since he was in Phoenix. So, and even there, he was still underdeveloped. Dorian Finney-Smith has. He played for Dallas. He had some good years over there. So I like him a lot as well. Do I give up 2 first-round picks? I think if I'm giving up 2+, I want a star player in return. Let's get greedy, baby. If we're giving up 2 first-round picks plus, I think we have to talk star player. But the fact, see, what gives me hope is that Sham said they're willing to give up all 3 first-round picks that we had, which, by the way, I didn't even know we had 3. But apparently, after December 15, we had 3. We willing to give up all 3 first-round picks for the right player or players. Only a few names come to mind. Very few that are worth 3 first-round picks. Unless Rob Pelinka is planning to sabotage us and dip out, which I don't think Genie would allow him to. I'm very excited for this trade deadline. I think we could get a 3rd piece and maybe even a 4th piece. Could that come via way of the Utah Jazz? Because remember, they have one of our first-round picks in this top 5 protected. So we can use that essentially as our 3rd first-round pick. Maybe that's what our guy is talking about. Maybe something's already in the works. But the whole point of this video is to kind of open your guys' mind to what's going on and what the Lakers could potentially acquire. And I think I think we're on the verge of doing something. I don't know what it is, but again, first round picks look a lot like this. We're giving up 3 first round picks, you know. Yeah, for sure. If Sacramento actually commits to trading him, I agree, KD. We have to. But right now, he's my favorite target. Before the rumors came out that he might want out, it was Trae Young and Clint Capella, or their wing player who I really like a lot. Who by the way, we drafted and traded on draft night to the Pelicans, who then flipped them to the Hawks, which is DeAndre Hunter. So if we can get 2 pieces with 1 swift trade, then we don't have to worry about having a second trade, right? But if we can't get 2 pieces, then we would then have to go and reroute in a different direction. Could the superstar be clutch client De'Aaron Fox? It could be. It could be, which is why I threw this trade together. It could be, man. It could be. I really like Fox. And again, let's just say that the Kings say, okay, we'll make the trade with you guys, but you have to give up Austin Reaves. Then there's a different iteration of this package that includes less first rounders, only 1 first rounder with Austin Reaves, and the rest of this package. But it also has to include Malik Monk, because we're definitely going to need a combo guard who can score if we lose Austin. But I think it would be a huge loss to lose Austin. I would do everything in my power, including giving up all 3 first-round picks, in order to hold on to Austin. So now you can have 4 big-time players. You can have De'Aaron Fox. You can always count on him. You can have Austin Reaves. You can always count on him. For the most part, LeBron and AD, you can count on them as well. Right? So now we're essentially creating a big 4, and now you have to worry about the depth around the bench and those guys you're going to plug in. But again, a trade like this one is ideal because you create open roster slots, and you know how it goes, right? You know how the league is. As soon as they see a super team forming up somewhere, there go the free agents. Whoever gets bought out, guys will get bought out. There go the free agents, right? And they're gonna want to come to the Lakers if that happens. Dan, would you offer more for Trae or Fox? Well, again, depends what package is coming back. If the package that I showed you right now is the maximum I'm willing to offer up for Fox and Malik Monk. But if they want Austin, there's a different version that comes with no second-round picks, or should I say with less first-round picks. I would probably swap out these 2 first-round picks for Austin Reaves as they want that, and subtract somebody like Rui. You know what I mean? Like, we got to make it work somehow. We can't allow them to win in every front. But I think the package I just showed you guys right now is very fair for both parties. I think it is. And I don't think they'll get something more for a disgruntled Fox. So, by the way, remember, this is a player-driven league, meaning that if they request a trade, they can choose where they want to go. They can say, I want to go here or I want to go there. And more likely than not, you have to honor the request. Otherwise, they won't extend, right? Now, the reason that Damian Lillard, they didn't honor his request was because the Bucks were willing to pay the price. And they risked it. They risked not signing, not being able to re-sign him, right? But then again, Damian Lillard kind of has his back against the wall because, if his play drops off at any moment, then you'll have a lesser market for him if he ever hits free agency, right? So before that trade happened, there was a lot of different variables. De'Aaron Fox is in the prime of his career. He's going to have all the options, and so he has full control of his destiny, in my opinion. But again, shout out to Clutch, because Clutch always allows the players to have the final word in it. And right now, realistically, the chances of us getting De'Aaron Fox are very slim. But that can change tomorrow or the day after, assuming Fox requests a trade and puts us on his list. Now, quick little update. The Miami Heat came out, Pat Riley came out today and said they're not trading Jimmy Butler. But that, I assume, is because I just don't think they were getting the same or anything near what they wanted. All right. Got a couple rumor updates for you guys right now while I'm on the live. Shout out to everybody who tags me on these. Evan Sittery, who's been reporting a lot of stuff, not sure how credible he is, but he's been reporting a lot on the Lakers. It says here, as it relates to the Lakers being willing to include first-round picks in a trade, keep an eye on the Nets. Los Angeles has registered interest in Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, salaries can be matched by including D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and Jalen Hood-Schifino. How many first-round picks are you guys willing to give up for Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith? Because that's the latest rumor. And I got one more rumor for you guys before I get off that I just got an update to. So that is what Evan Sittery is reporting on Twitter. How many first-round picks we willing to give up? 1. 2. Okay. None. Those are role players. Let's make no mistake. They're really good role players, but those are role players. Are you guys talking about 1 first-round pick a piece or 1 for the entire trade? Because I say one for the entire trade. I agree with most of you guys. I say one for the entire trade. If you're including a piece like Rui, who can give you anywhere between 15 to 20 on any given night, I think only one first round pick, right? Because remember, it doesn't really help us to subtract too much, when you add, right? Rui is going to be somewhat of a loss, especially if Vando can't get back healthy, but it definitely makes up that you're getting 2, 3 and D wings in return for that one offensive scoring punch. So you're not losing too much, but again, 2 first round picks on top of all of that would be just a little too much for my liking. One for the whole deal. I agree, KD. I agree. I'm not sure if that gets it done though, if I'm being honest. There's a Laker tax, and we have to kind of try to navigate in spite of that, right? In spite of that Laker tax. But all right, that is the first rumor that I have for you guys. Now, I have another one I was just tagged on here. Shout out to you guys. Chris Davis is reporting that Toronto Raptors have communicated to several teams, including the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Lakers, that they are uninterested in trading Jakob Poeltl. However, they would consider moving him if the team meets their steep asking price, rumored to be a first-round draft pick and a young player. Despite this, the Raptors see Poeltl as an integral to their current lineup, with the expectation that a top 5 draft pick and improved health will enhance their playoff chances next season. The only considered truly untouchable is Scotty Barnes. So again, that's another team we have to watch out for, the Toronto Raptors. They might be willing to part with some of the talent they have there. We already seen them trade one of their biggest assets last year, which was Pascal Siakam, right? So Jakob Poeltl, that's another great big right there. That's a double-double. That is a double-double. How do you guys feel about him? And would you guys be willing to give up a first-round pick for him? That is the question right there. Cam not a star and don't play defense. Cam is not a star, but he has defensive potential, AMC. But I'm not sure if that by itself is worth a first-round pick individually. Now, if you include Dorian Finney-Smith, now we can have that conversation, right? But now we can have that conversation. But I agree. He's definitely not a star. Dorian Finney isn't either. It's not that they hate the Lakers. It's that the Lakers, nobody wants to help LeBron James win. And clutch. They hate clutch, right? And there is a Laker tax. Toronto has nothing you want. Not even Jakob Poeltl. He's decent. Bruce Brown is decent too. He's getting healthy. Bruce Brown is getting healthy, to answer your question, bro. He is getting healthy. So he could be ready to go. And then come playoff time, it could be a huge asset for the Lakers. You saw how the fall off for the Denver Nuggets was monumental the moment they lost Bruce Brown. So he is an impact player. We've seen that before. And again, sometimes impact goes beyond the stats, right? It goes way beyond the stats. Well, maybe they do hate him, maybe they don't. But I know for a fact they hate LeBron and Clutch. I know that for a fact. And Rob Pelinka. So, yeah, essentially, yeah, that's the entire team. Let's see. Bruce Brown hasn't played since he left Denver, which might make him ready to go now. Who knows? Again, low risk, high reward. Depends on what the asking price is. I want Davion Mitchell from Toronto. He got some dog in him. I do. You know what, Angie? I do love his defense. Davion Mitchell, very solid defender, can pick up full court. He's similar to Colin Sexton in a way, except Colin is a way better scorer. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind Davion Mitchell. Definitely not giving up no first-round picks for him, but, yeah, I wouldn't mind a player like that if possible. Again, the required needs are different, but for players like Fox and certain players, you're willing to go beyond the need. Aaron Harrison, he named his account Bron to Golden State. He said, if it's going to be like this, trade Bron to Golden State. I think that ship sailed. I think one shocking revelation to a lot of fans, not to me, because I knew Golden State wasn't legit, is that Golden State needs LeBron more than LeBron needs Golden State, which means there's a better chance of us landing Curry than LeBron landing in Golden State, if I'm being honest. So you might want to change your name to trade Curry to Golden State. And ESPN has picked up on something I've been saying for a long time. We're clearly the better team. We have AD and LeBron. They only have Curry. They only have one star and a bunch of young, unproven players. It wasn't me hating on them. It's me being a truth teller. Even when they were the number 1 seed, it was not impressive to me. And I knew eventually they would fall. And that's exactly what has happened, right? So I don't look for LeBron to join Golden State. That scenario that I put together was only if LeBron wanted out. Remember, he was missing for about a week. We didn't know if he was resting. We didn't know where he was. All we knew was that he wasn't with the Lakers. So a lot of questions were arising. And then this happened right after the rumors that, you know, he was disgruntled and that Tyronn Lue went out and said that, you know, the Lakers didn't show him respect, etc. So we came up with a doomsday scenario. But again, doomsday scenario isn't a realistic scenario. That is, everything bottoms out and we have to trade them. This is what it looks like. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode here. It wasn't going to be a trade machine episode, but I said, you know what? Let me cook up some trades just in case. I might give you guys just a, you know, right before the trade deadline during these next couple of weeks, starting with January, I will be doing different, more well thought of trades, assuming we don't make a trade before then, to break down what the Lakers could do to improve for the now and for the future. And again, if rumors break that have some legitimacy, like the one that Shams dropped tonight, I will be going live as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you already have it. To my members, I appreciate you guys. To my super chatters, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate each and every single one of you, though. Keep it locked. Stay tuned. Hit the post noti bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.